Hello.
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 And welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome
And welcome to
Backseat Genius.
to Backseat Genius.
To Backseat Genius.
The Backseat Genius.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Clubhouse, episode 5. We made it through 5 episodes so far. I'm your host again, John SBJ, or again, call me whatever you like. And we have Justin here, recurring, what would we call you, like, person? What do you call it? Even
can call
just,
me
like,
human.
Member.
We
And
call
then
him, we call him the GBF.
we call him Tamatoa because if he sees something shiny, if you shine it in his way, he'll just like turn and start like moving towards you. So
Exactly.
and then we got Dewey here, a 2-time top 32.
Yep.
Right? Just barely missed the cut twice, but getting to day 2 consistently, which is good. We have a little bit of a different one going on here. As you can tell, we usually have 3 people along with the host. We're just going with 3 for today because we have kind of a more focused topic to go over. And before we get into that, again, we're at the Supernova Toys and Collectibles shop in Bridgeview, Illinois, selling everything from action figures, Funkos, obviously Lorcana and other TCGs. So if you're ever in the area, come to Supernova Toys and Collectibles and grab your stuff. And we'd love to see you here. And so, getting into the topic, there is this new, this new poll. There's this new thing in the community that's actually, one of the creators is someone a part of our team, BSG Teddy. And it's
Teddy,
called,
true.
yeah, so it's called the Lorcana Players Poll. And as far as I know, it's kind of about, it's taking a lot of high-end players, getting their feedback as far as what color combination they think is best at the given time. And I think they plan to update it every couple weeks.
It's a couple weeks up there.
Yeah. Okay. And so we'll have the picture of it on screen right now. And I guess as far as I know, the way it works, everyone votes from 1 to 10 on these 10 colors and ranks them in order. And if it's number 1, then it gets 10 points all the way down to number 10 gets 1 point. And then at the end, they accumulate all of the points and rank it based on whatever has the highest points, 1, 2, 3. Moving forward. So that's kind of how it works as far as I'm aware. Again, they have I think they have a video up
They do.
on
Yeah,
it already.
it
So you can check them out.
Yep.
They're on Twitter. The specific @ is @Lorcana Poll. So if you want to check that out, go there.
Interesting.
Give them a follow.
Yeah.
But what we want to do is kind of go over, again, these are high-end players that are voting on this. Do we agree with it? Also, what are our plans? I know I'm going to Continentals, and we have 2 waitlisters.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which means we can go.
Yeah, so hey, hopefully we'll get in. So we're still testing as if we're all
We're
going
for
right?
sure.
So
Yeah.
we all have decks in mind at the current time as to what we believe
100%.
we're gonna go
Yep.
in with.
Yep.
And so we're gonna pick why aren't we going with green purple even though it's number 1, or
Yep.
if we are going why are we doing it?
Right.
So let's just go ahead and start off with you, Justin. Assuming you get off the wait list and we're going to Continentals, what deck, if you have one, are you planning on playing, and why is it or is it not green-purple, even though, all these great players are saying that's the best deck right now?
I don't have any experiences on green purple playtime wise. I do know the play style. I do know because green purple's been out since I want to say set 1 obviously, but it's been relevant since set 3 maybe. Last set not really, but with Genie being out now and maybe Gogo Tamago having some kind of dent in that deck as well. But I know Genie's a big threat. I think purple cards are really strong, just like what everyone's talking about right now. But since Europe's winner is red purple, which I predicted by the way. But it's all good.
Okay. Yeah.
Justin's wrong until someone talks with it. It's all good. The thing is, I would go for steel decks like Green Steel and Ember Steel because they have a good matchup spread within the top 3 decks, which is green, purple, red, purple, and
It's red, blue.
Red, blue, right? Okay,
Is
so
it good
scratch
against red,
Ember
blue?
Steel. My bad.
So
Scratch
the
Ember
top
Steel.
2,
Yeah. So no, Green Steel is good into those top 3 decks. So I would go with Green Steel. Maybe not the traditional Zen Saeed version anymore, or maybe it is. I don't know. I've been trying out Lucifer recently, but I would lean towards Green Steel because it does have a good matchup spread in those 3 specific top decks. That's what I would go for.
All right, Dewey, what do you think? What would you go into it with?
Okay, so this, I want to talk the aspect of Continentals first, right? So people who got the invite are guaranteed Continentals. So let's talk about like the day before Continentals, the LCQ. So LCQ format is like a little bit more different because of it's best of threes.
Yep.
So
And single elimination.
and it is a single elimination. So I want to say that green purple is a really strong deck. It is quick. It has a lot of good purple cards now. And then go like if they ever like feeling to trade against bonsais and stuff like that. But I don't think the deck is good in best of threes because of if they know like game 1 is blind, game 2 and game 3 they will just mold towards like what cards that you are planning to play. So
It's predictable, so I was saying.
yeah, it's like it's a little bit more predictable because of like how linear the deck is, and
That's
it's not that flexible.
That's true.
Sure.
So, and then going into like the Continentals, that's when it's gonna be 7 rounds of best of 2s, and I think that green purple shines in best of 2s
Sure.
because of going first. They could quest out. They have White Rose now. They have Genie. They have Go, all the bounce package. They have Go to finish the game faster. So they have a wide range of like ending the game 1.
Yep.
And then game 2 is the same exact thing. They have a wide range of like trying to finish the game out. That's why I think it's the best deck for best of 2s. Best of 3s, I think is really debatable. But I think that I will like if we're allowed to, I would probably bring 2 different decks, one for best of 3s, and then a deck that I am designed to play in Continentals. So like,
Sure.
if I will go into LCQ, I think red purple is going to be one of the best decks because that deck shines in best of 3. It's one of the most consistent deck I've seen. Like the 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. Is also one of the most powerful deck. It has like all the removal you can ask for. It has the quest ability, great like, and like I know like a lot of red purple is not playing locations, like the deck could play like the powerful location like library or queens.
Yep.
So that's like kind of like a general idea. But also like best of 3, time rules is a whole different ball game there.
Yeah.
Because of it's single elimination and playing location in best of 3, and the one who has the highest lore wins.
Yep.
That's where the deck shines.
So tell me, you're going into the LCQ. You know, you're trying to punch your ticket into Continentals. What deck are you going into this best of 3 format with?
Definitely red purple.
Red purple.
Yep.
Okay. And why not? So you mentioned some of the things, but in a best of 3 format, why not this green purple that a lot of people are saying is best? Or you traditionally play red blue.
Yep.
So for you to say red purple, you're going away from something that you've been playing for now the last couple sets.
Mm-hmm.
And if I add playing really, really well with this red blue, it took you to top 32 twice. Why would you veer off that now?
I guess it's because of the addition of better like evasive character, if that makes sense. Because of like red purple line has always been a 1-drop Flint Sisu castle, right? But now because like red blue are playing Maui, they could move away from the castle because of Tipo plus Maui out castle, or like even like Grandma Tala plus Maui can out library early. But the deck has so many utility of outing like these like location deck. But when it comes to evasive, like you use the bra on Flynn and you go Genie on turn 4,
Sure.
and then you don't have an out, you lose that game.
It's tough. Yeah, no, 100%. For me, I think red blue is a good shout for sure. It's very consistent. It's been since set 2, right? Set
Red
2
blue?
it was dominant.
Sure.
Now
No.
it's been just more like consistent.
I don't think set 2 was that dominant.
Red blue?
Red purple?
No, you said
Did I
red
say
blue.
You
red
did
blue?
say red
Yeah, you
blue.
said
Oh,
red
I'm
blue.
sorry. Red
I was
purple.
like, red blue.
It was not dominant then.
Red blue
I'm
was-
sorry.
Cut, restart this whole
Sorry,
thing.
I'm sorry,
Restart
not-
this whole
not-
thing.
not-
Cut.
Cut. All right. Anyway, no, but so red purple. Red purple Set 2 was dominant, but it's
Bro.
been consistent.
Set
throughout.
1 actually.
Set one.
Okay.
Set 1,
This
actually.
version of Red. Purple.
Sure, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
Set
right. You're
1
right.
was
You're right.
control.
You're right.
Set 1 was a completely different version, but yeah,
Mhm.
since Set 1. But Set 2,
That's true.
when they brought in the bounce package, it's been
For sure.
It was dominant then, and then it's been consistent. So, based on this poll, though, there's such a huge outcry for purple green. It's made huge waves since the beginning of the set, and Artifacts played a 60 character deck. Then everyone started playing, and it's been very consistent. But we look at the European Continentals. If you guys don't know, you can go to inkdex.com, and they have mostly, especially for the larger tournaments, they have mostly the top cut for all their decks and their deck lists.
Yep.
And so if you look at that, the top 4 was 3 red purple and 1 green purple. Even though green purple had the second most showing for just the Continentals in general with
Right.
Swiss, but day 2 it was the first
That's
most.
true. Okay, yeah.
And yet purple red
Was,
dominated.
wasn't
top
even in the top 4 most represented, right?
It's
four.
purple?
Green purple was 7.
Red purple.
Red purple was 3 of the top 4.
Okay.
Oh,
no,
you
like
mean
overall.
represented.
The overall-
Represented like
overall
90
represented. I think it was 4th
Like
because
fourth,
it was
right?
red. It was
Yeah.
red blue. Then it was green purple. Then it was
Green steel. No, I think.
Green
Yeah, I
steel.
think it was green steel.
and then I believe red purple.
And then yeah.
Yeah. And then it went down to like amber steel and
Yeah, yeah,
blurple
yeah.
or something like that. But yeah, it's very interesting to me because of the fact too that green purple, as far as I'm aware, I believe is supposed to be favored, right, against red purple.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
right.
supposed to be favored.
The
but
traditional list covers a lot of the weaknesses. Yep.
Yes, and to go back to what you're saying, Dewey, it's a different ball game when you don't know where you're going up against versus when you see the deck list and you're like, this is what I'm playing against. Okay, so the approach is different, right?
Yep.
What you're doing. But is it really that drastic of a difference? Because why are so many, if this is the case, right, why are so many people going into it with green-purple, but the results aren't there? The results are there. A lot of them are making
It's
day
definitely
2. I
there,
shouldn't say
yeah.
they're completely not getting there. But why aren't they finishing there? What is the struggle? It's supposed to be better. Is the deck not optimized? Like, these people seem to think it's the best color, but if we're going based off the Continentals, it's red-purple.
I think a lot of people actually did not have any reps on green purple. I don't think anyone has like a lot of hours outside of Atrabax, obviously, but I think a lot of people didn't even have green purple in their mind. Maybe they've tried it a couple times during set 3, I think, when it was really good into red blue, and it actually like ran over red blue like a lot. But nobody really like spent a lot of time on it. Like, people spent time on amber steel, like people spent time on red purple and red blue. So I think it might be skill diff, bro. It might be skill diff. I feel like a lot of people just doesn't have enough time to like have the cover all the bases of the deck. Maybe even in Continentals US or NA, there's some might not even have enough time for a lot of people. Like, people will pick it up, but it's kind of like how Green Steel is. Like, when people find out that Green Steel was the best deck last season, like Zan says that there wasn't enough time, even the month given, there wasn't enough time for people to like master the deck or counter the deck. So I feel like it's the same thing here where everyone's hyping it up and then everyone's like, but like where's the direction of this deck? Like you know.
Yeah. And what do you have, Dave?
I think that you're right. Like, nobody had like green purple in their mind, right? Like, they were so focused on like the 5 decks. The 5 decks last set.
Sure.
Even Sapphire Steel was like more on people's mind because like on how aggressive the question is. I dabble in green purple, and if I'm being honest here, green purple feels like it's playing like red purple, but just the win condition is a little bit more different.
Yeah.
Because of you're not playing removal, you're playing more like low to the ground character that forces your opponent to answer them.
Right.
More threats. Like, you have Merfolk, you have White Rose, you have Goats, Bonsai, Question for 2, and then it's like you have all of these like characters that put in so much pressure.
Sure.
And in reality, like, you gotta think about like the Merfolk, they playing Trinabog, Diablo, Red Purple is playing the same exact thing. The Bonsai is the Flynn.
Yeah.
The White Rose is the Sisu. Genie is the Genie.
Yeah.
They're also playing Rabbits. The turn 5 is Elsa. Red Purple is also playing Elsa. It's just, and then but turn 6, that's a whole different ballgame because of just because they're playing so low to the ground characters, they can drop 2 characters at a time.
Yeah.
You kill the babies, but they have no.
Oh, whoa.
My bad. When I mean babies, I mean.
Louis.
Whoa, my bad. I mean,
Man.
my bad. I
What
mean,
is this a Bambi situation?
yeah.
Oh,
My
no.
bad. So
Reverse Bambi.
what I meant by that was like the 1 and 2 characters helps them to recover because
Yeah.
Diablo lets you draw a card, Trinabog lets you draw a card. They have the same side package that Ripper has, bouncing back the rabbits to keep drawing cards. I haven't been seeing a lot of lists of playing friends on the other side. I know there was a couple lists I saw that was playing it. Like was playing like a one up, yeah, like 1 or 2. And it's like again, they have the draw engine, they have like all these, and honestly, like the deck plays, and like I said, the deck plays like red purple, but just different winning condition.
Yeah, and it's really annoying, right? For someone like me, right now, I'm leaning towards the red purple, purple route.
It's really
strong, really consistent. It's a very straightforward 1, 2, 3. You do have different options once it starts to come to 4.
True.
But man, when you play green steel and their drop is Curse Merfolk into Bonsai into White
Wait,
Rose.
green steel? You mean green? You mean green purple?
Green purple.
Did I say green steel?
Yes,
Am
yeah.
I switching up?
Dude, you
Yeah.
keep
I
switching
keep
up
saying the
on
wrong
us.
thing.
Hey,
Green purple.
Cut again.
No.
Start from the
No.
Scrap the episode.
He's just going back in time.
Going back in time.
That's when you know.
I'm
that's
going back
when
in time to what you said.
No. Remember when Green Steel was playing Merfolk?
It was
Flynn,
though. It was.
Merfolk,
They were.
Flynn,
That's still,
was.
hey,
It
there
was.
might be something there.
It's-
That's still
there's-
really
it can
annoying,
happen.
right?
It can happen.
It can happen.
Hey, but anyway, like green purple, it's very annoying as a Ruby Amethyst player because of the fact of like the Curse Merfolk Bonsai White Rose combo. It's like, oh, so I got to swing into something that's questing for 2 that's going to make me lose a card. Now I got to swing into something that's questing for 2 that's going to kill any character that I swing into it with. Then I got to swing into a character that just gained you a lore from playing it and is going to trade with anything that I swing into it with. It'd be other than Sisu. That's like the only thing we have.
Right.
And that just becomes really annoying, right? So there's obviously something that these Ruby Amethyst players are unlocking when they're playing green purple, and it might be the situation where they're running out of gas, like you're saying. A lot of people aren't playing friends. So if you're not drawing into the rabbit bounce, if you're not drawing into the genie, it can be tough to keep that boat going, I guess, like keep it going. And a lot of the times nowadays with red, if you get into a great curve, you either have Brawl or you have the genie already and you have Elsa. So that takes out your genie. Now what are you doing? So going over this list, let's go over kind of just the ranking itself. We'll just talk over the first, let's say, like 5, right? Because I would say this is probably best.
Top 3, top 4, maybe.
No, the top
5 because we
Okay.
got purple green is number 1,
Sure.
Ruby Amethyst at 2, Ruby Sapphire at 3, Amber Steel at 4,
No,
and
that's
Green
Sapphires.
Steel.
Yeah, Sapphires.
No, that's
Oh.
Amber Steel. And then it's going like side by side.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. If I did have a recommendation, because that confused me too, I was like, we got
Yeah,
hyper
can we go like
aggro at
1, 2,
5?
3,
We should
4,
do
5,
1 through
6?
5.
Oh,
and
I'm
then
sorry, 1,
6
2, 3,
through
5.
10.
Yeah, not like
At
1,
first,
2,
I was like, Sapphire still at 4.
I get it. We're
Like,
trying to be different. You know what I'm saying? We're
please.
trying to be
Okay,
different. I
yeah,
get it.
What
I
am
get
I
it.
not saying here? But
True.
But yeah, so the top 5 again: green, purple. We got purple, red, red, blue, amber steel, and green steel. Right. So, do you agree with this order? Does this seem accurate? Is there anything you would change? You, Justin, are famously a steel player. More famously, you've been trying to make amber steel the number 1 deck since set 2, and it's been tough. You've been down a journey, but you've been successful with it. But do you agree that it's at number 4? Do you think it should be higher?
I think actually it's probably as of the European continentals, I think this is accurate. I think obviously by the time the NA continentals, this will definitely shift. I do think like it's Lorcana is fun in this way because there's like a triangle that we follow, and then whatever's in the top gets beaten by this deck. So this deck all of a sudden becomes the top deck. So it kind of becomes like a triangle and just keeps going. Or rock paper scissors is what people actually say it is. I think they are well positioned. I do think this definitely drastically changed because of net deckers. I want to say like people would just follow what the best 3 decks are, which is not entirely like incorrect, honestly. Like if you're trying to win, obviously you want to put in your hours on decks that win versus me who just plays Amber Seal, even though there's a lot of red blue players, especially in Chicago. But yeah, I think since the rock paper scissors changed, I think green steel and Amber Seal actually goes up a notch. I don't like red, like blue red might go down a couple because of the top two that are represented. So people might be scared enough to like drop that deck or like have just a lower representation, which means Amber Seal and Green Seal are definitely like positioned better if red blue is less represented. So, but like for sure, red purple and green purple are
Yeah.
like the top two decks.
You would say so. So you'd say at least the top two are accurate. At the
I,
moment.
I want to say red purple more so, but since green green purple, I guess as a color or traditionally counters red purple, maybe it is better. But I do think that having removals is better than I guess no, threats are better, but I do think like the panic button of like, oh, I have Sisu or B prep to just like reset the game, and if you have a rabbit or a genie afterwards, like you're kind of cruising. Like if you get to a point where you could pull that off,
Yeah.
I think you're in a really good position. So, but like there's no other decks that could do that in the top. Obviously red blue, but between the purple decks is why I'm trying to say like nothing can do what red purple can do in terms of like resetting stuff like that or resetting the board and swing it potentially back into your favor.
Yeah, a combination of heavy draw and removal is pretty strong. What do you think, Dewey? Is this accurate?
So I guess like we can't like if we look at the top four, but let's look at the top eight. There was three red purples, one green purple. There was
top four. Yep.
yeah, and then in top eight there was two red blue, one Ember Steel, and
There's always the one.
R.I.P.
One day it'll be yours. One day it'll be you.
what was the eighth deck? I can't
I
remember.
don't remember. I was focused heavily on top four because I was like, 3 purple red is crazy.
But I guess it's like I want to like go back a little bit, right? Let's go like when we went to Vegas, the top deck, the most represented deck was red blue, and then let's go to Seattle. Again, the most represented deck was red blue again. So I think,
Unfortunately.
so I think that a lot of people are gonna be playing green purple and purple red more now, just because of the red blue representation of like on all the DLC that happened.
Let me stop you there real quick because I want to branch off of this. I actually had a question. So you say that right? So you think a lot of people are going to play this green purple or ruby amethyst because of the high representation of red blue and it's favorable into that matchup. Why? And you're a red blue player, right? And you're kind of veering off of it. You said you'd be playing ruby amethyst right now if you're going into the LCQ. Why are people veering off or why aren't people veering off of red blue? It's still the most representative, right? Yeah,
Yep.
My words are mincing. But anyway, it was still it still showed up the most at the European Continentals. But we had this knowledge before. We already know red purple is very heavily played, but we also knew that a lot of people were going to be playing purple green. So why are people sticking with red blue if it is this unfavorable matchup?
I guess it's more on like the versatility of the deck. So going into like red purple and green purple is an aggro deck. Red purple is like one get into that mid range to control the late game. Red blue is mid game to late game, but it's the versatility of they can control the early game.
Sure.
So I've been seeing a lot of like red blue lists are playing like the small Sisu, it kills the merfolk. They're playing Queen of Hearts, it deals with merfolk, bonsai at the same time. They got Brawl, they deal with Genie, Flynn. And that's like the reason why like red blue could thrive is because of the versatility of the deck in the early game. And then once you go in the mid game, you have the Hiram, you have Grandma Tala, you have Maui, you have Medusa, and then going to the late game, be proud reset the board. Now you have all like the removal cards that could back up that same turn. And it's like and then for Justin's sake, Ice Block is a one hell of a card.
One hell of a card.
One hell of
Very
a card.
good.
Such a like, if Ice Block wasn't a thing, Sisu would not be broken.
That's not true.
Sure.
I mean,
Okay.
yes, you're right.
Well,
I actually agree. I agree.
you gotta think about it, like, because Ice Block helps Sisu get more in range.
No
I hate
Yeah,
you so much, Justin.
sure.
I've been seasoned way too many times.
I know.
So you think people are still playing it because there's that chance still, because we know how strong the late game is, right? The second half of Red Blue is incredibly strong, probably the best still in the game right now.
I think
The
so.
problem at the moment is we're playing a fast game, and it's takes some time to get there for Red Blue, right? And if they don't see the outs, it's like then it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can have one Medusa, but we have 4 characters on board. So what does one Medusa do? If you don't have a B prep, sometimes they don't want to. If they don't find Flaversham, it feels like a real uphill battle because they're already down and they can't find their outs because they're not getting Flav. So I want to move this on to a question of, for anyone out there who is going to the LCQ or they're on the wait list just like you guys, and they're still prepping, right? They see this poll. It's voted on by players that are, I would say, decorated. I don't know if that's the wrong term, but players that are really good right now currently in the game. And they see this list. Should they follow this list like this? Should they go with green-purple? Should they follow something that they're more comfortable with? Because we already talked about, you and I are going with the second best deck, which is good, right? You are leaning towards the 5th highest voted deck. So what should our viewers do? What should somebody who's prepping for this event, this really big event, important event, how should they go into what should their mindset be as far as they see this, but they want to play Amber Steel?
I think you take the information of this, right? You take the entire information and know that a lot of people will follow this. Like if you're, because there's two types of people, and just I want to say TCG in general. There's people that plays the best deck and there's people that counters the best deck. So I think, and both I believe is correct, and that's what makes like TCG fun because like there's not a clear winner. Like like next thing we know, like Continentals for NA is like 34% Amber Steel, which is copium. But
yeah, it's probably.
but like like it could happen for sure.
Sure.
What I'm saying is like so the counter the meta versus play the meta is interesting because that's when you start thinking about what would you play if you were going to choose between those two things, and if you choose any of those things, do you survive like the variance, right? Because like there's 96 people like in Continentals, and LCQ again, like he mentioned, it's a different meta. It's not like LCQ Continentals. I mean, it's not like the Continentals itself, but
I want to reframe that. So for the EU Continentals, there was 96 players, but in NA there's gonna be 128 players, including with the LCQ.
128.
128.
Damn, it's a lot of Americans.
Still, I think the point still stands.
Yeah. But like, I'm thinking like, there's two different metas that you want to look up to. I personally would say if you've been playing Lorcana for the last 6 sets, I think we're still in a meta where you could play comfortable decks, right? Because there's no Diablo deck. I mean, not Diablo. Bucky. There's no Bucky deck where it's like, oh, obviously this is the clear winner, right? Even though we've seen the numbers where Red Blue is definitely like the most represented in Europe, but like we're still in the world where like any of those decks could win, or any of the top 5 decks, even top 6 even could win NA. So I think comfortability is still number 1, but like when the comfortability, each and every colors I think is set or is equipped to counter. Not all colors, obviously, but every color is equipped to counter at least the top 2 most represented colors, in my opinion. So you could definitely still like shape your deck to lose some of the matchups for or sacrifice that matchup to gain more advantage into the more popular decks. So I think that's what you do. Obviously, like I think you use comfortability, and you arrange your deck where it's good into the top 2, top 3 decks.
All right, Dewey, close this out. How do you feel like somebody going into LCQs, Continentals, how should they view this poll? Should they take it with a grain of salt? Should they maybe take it and branch off of it? Or should they go with something maybe they're more comfortable with, even if it's not, the top 2, 3?
I think for me is, I think the poll is mostly accurate, but again, we have a whole month left. Anyone could build like a whole different play style of a deck. For example, CL, Amber Steel, but not the traditional Amber Steel, the 64 location Amber Steel, and that was unexpected.
28 locations.
Oh my. 28 location. I was
Either way, still.
Bro,
I was too off. I was too off.
I thought you were saying it was a 64 card deck with location.
No,
We
no,
don't
no,
have
no,
64
no.
locations in the game.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, well, for Amber Steel.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, it's like, I think you could take the poll with a grain of salt because of people could be playing the same color combination, but the playstyle could be completely different. And I think that might be like the hardest thing with this like the game now is because of the creativity of what people are thinking about.
I agree.
Sure.
And then I've been seeing a lot like that. If people look in the poll, the sixth place is Emerald Steel, and
That's 5th place, but yes.
no, oh my bad,
Yeah.
Amethyst Steel,
Amethyst
Steel.
Steel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then with Amethyst Steel, like there was only one route. Everybody was playing the Acro deck, but then until someone bought in.
The Jafar deck?
No, not the Jafar deck. Oh yeah, no. Actually, there was a couple times with Jafar. I forgot about that. No, but I'm talking about there was a 26 location Amethyst Steel, and a lot of people has been seeing a lot of like, been seeing a lot of like these results with like locations, the same color combination but different play style, and it's like,
I like that.
but again, it's like. People could take this seriously. People don't need to. But again, it's like the color combination is always going to be there, but the play style is going to be a whole different ball game.
Yeah. So, just to give my 2 cents real quick, I think at the end of the day, you need to come up with a game plan as to what deck you're going to bring, why you're going to bring it, and just go into it with that mentality of, look, sometimes people are just going to draw the nuts, right, as we call it.
Yep.
They're going to draw that Diablo location
the
into
Zen
Pete,
Saeed
into
hand.
da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Every, it's going to happen.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that would suck to happen at the LCQ since it's single elimination, but
It's going to happen.
it's going to happen. It can happen. It can happen for you. It can happen against you. And don't overthink it, Don't think of it in the situation where you're going to go into it just hoping they're not going to do that or they're going to do it every single time. Pick what you're going to pick. You're going to live and die with your pick, but just know that there was a reason why you did it and follow through. I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Agreed.
I think we might call this episode like learning to speak English. Thanks for sitting through our grammatical errors. all throughout.
Know your color, please.
Yeah.
No other color
I don't
combination,
know.
please.
Apparently, the color combinations
Green,
that I'm
steel.
saying. Thank God that I have you two here, or this would have been a video that people would have had outrage for. Like this
Absolutely.
guy, what is he saying?
Yeah,
White
like-
rose and green steel.
Amber Sapphire, what?
All right, so Sapphire. But yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in, giving their feedback. We love it. Keep bringing it on. If you guys have any questions in the future, we'll probably answer some questions that anybody
Absolutely.
has or go over, certain debates. Our last video certainly had some debates, so maybe we'll go over some of that stuff.
Keep fighting.
It was really fun. Yeah, keep fighting. We love it. But yeah, again, we're at Supernova Toys and Collectibles in Bridgeview, Illinois. Stop by, please, if you're in the area ever. Closed Monday, Tuesday, but any other day, come on in. They got so many things here for you to look at, take advantage of, and yeah. So
Wait, one more thing, people who watching our video, if you guys want to leave like any suggestion in the comment, please do, just so we know what kind of video that you guys like to see, or like what video that you want to see in the next episode. Just leave something in the comment, and then of course
yeah,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if we
Appreciate it.
enjoy it, we'll talk on that. But
Yep.
like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know whenever we post another video. And with that being said, guys, have a good time.
Perfect timing.
Go play test.
Yes, sir.